It's me. It's a Friday night. Got my bottle of beer and my wife in the background. She's cooking dinner. She's got a glass of wine. So we're winding down, but we thought we'd try out this new training option, which is called Zoom or Loom. Actually, it's Loom. And the great thing is that I can record here and show you the screen here. So I'm just going to have a quick instrumental on bait, if that's okay. I'm going to show you all the ins and outs. First of all, I'll tell you that the main reasons that we use bait is that obviously it's pretty impressive as a valuation letter. Secondly, it tells us when the clients have clicked on it, so it gives us an opportunity to call them and say hi, any sort of excuse for calling. 3, it sends them content, so messages when you're out doing busy stuff. It sends them newsletters, which is all relevant to them. And fourthly, you can use it for, Frank, you can use it for dropping a spreadsheet into your Facebook ad campaigns, so they'll see you on video as well. What I want is all of our clients to be surrounded by you, whether it be emails, emails, videos, on their phone, on their laptop, basically all surrounded, then knocking the door, then newsletters. So without further ado, let's go into bait. So we should all but know by now the logins, which is lambuca.co.uk, your email address, and then it's Newman, which is the password. If you want to add a new appointment when you go out and get door data. Put them into our bait campaign, into our bait software, and they'll get content like we would like them to. So if you add a new appointment, you've obviously got 2 owners here. It's very important you put 2 owners in because obviously the letter is going to be made out in both names. So for instance, if I put in my address, which was probably 2 or 3 houses away from where I am now, because this house doesn't appear on Google Street View. So if I enter in here, Brendan Pettigrew, and then put in 07989 596 and Brendan at newman.uk.com. So it's got all the details here. I'm just going to change this postcode over here to CV32. I can't remember so it's 5WB. Hang on a second. 5WB. It should have a searchability to drop down the address and choose 4 Barenska Drive. Then at the bottom here, I can put in the number of bedrooms that I had there, the number of receptions, the number of bathrooms. It's very important to choose the type of property, which here is houses, and then you've got a chance to put in the type of house down below that. Obviously make sure your branch is the right one, and also make sure the appraisal date is the right one. So you can change this to, say 1 o'clock that day on the 15th. So click it in there. Next thing that you need to do is add the second homeowner. So I wasn't married then, but I'm married now, so I'll just put her in to give you an example. Her first name is Penny and her second name is Pettigrew, and then you can put the other details that you need to in the other bits. Right, okay, so that is creating an appraisal. The next thing we can do while it's successfully updating is go back into appraisals here, and this is the last appointment that's been made. Then you basically create an appraisal. So sorry, you've booked an appointment, now you're creating an appraisal. So it's really important to put in a price range, so we can say 250,000 to 280,000, depending on what you've told the client on the valuation. obviously you can ring through in, look, I'll be sending you through a valuation letter with a minimum price that will set as an open day and then a maximum price in terms of what I hope the bid's coming out. It's very important as well to put the fee there so we're totally transparent, and the rest of the information should drop in nicely. Then we go into the contact and address info so we can actually bespoke the actual property on the valuation letter. So I know, where is Barenska Drive here? I know, it's at this end of the road. So I've got to drag the pin down to where the house was. So I know where it was. Actually, let me just zoom out slightly. Here it is. So it was the second one in here, as it was number 4. So I can zoom in again and drag that down central so they can be impressed by a satellite view. The next thing I can do is actually pop it onto the house, which was that one. Now it's important with this that we drag the actual house over to slightly off left, because this is where the address is going to go. So if we just save every change as we go along, now if I go up to the top again, I can click the site status live so I can view the valuation letter. So it takes a few seconds for this to happen. And when it does, we've got the web view, which gives the example of what the valuation letter is going to look like. I'm going to keep saying valuation letter because, you know, I should say market appraisal letter, but it's a Friday night and I've got a beer. So there's the house there. As you can see, that's where I am. My details are valuation date, number of bedrooms. It's got satellite view. It's got the overview. Zoopla drops its statistics in. Got the link there to a client journey, which then you can obviously click in, and then it has the client journey. You can click onto the live videos as well, which is always very impressive. Let's have a look. Let's go back here. Where is it? Okay, let's go back here. Right, so there you go, Zoopla. Frequently asked questions. Ask a question that's bespoke and it sends it through to you. And an option here to proceed as well. So that's what the valuation letter looks like. And then all you need to do to send it is click on actions, send the mail, click here to send the mail. And now, once it says success or confirm, here we go, success. So confirm you want to send an email and the message, then it goes off to the client. And it will tell you then when the client clicks onto it. The next thing I wanted to show you is what sort of content is sent in the journey of this client. So if I click back into an older market appraisal, and then I can click onto full history here. I won't be long, darling. Click into full history. Sorry, I'm not calling you darling, but my wife is in the background. So if I click onto history here and toggle down, you can see the sort of content which has been sent to the client. Click on here for the example. Click on here to actually read it. And it's all very relevant to the client, so it's definitely worth them being sent it. So they'll get approximately 5 lots of emails in the first week, 4 lots of emails in the second week, and then it toggles down slightly whilst they're probably not wanting to be bombarded as much. So, you know, you got some things here like 7 essential secrets you need to know if you're thinking of selling. This is all really relevant stuff. Finally, I want to show you why you need to make a special decision, a special effort to keep these market appraisal statuses up to date, because when they get instructed, the type of the content gets changed, so it's still relevant. If they instruct another agent, click instructed another agent, because then they'll get content on stuff like, is your agent doing everything they can to sell your property? And they'll be sowing the seeds of doubt in the content that gets sent from you. So I hope that's been helpful. And if you have any other questions about bait, look, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm happy to be here to answer it for you. So have a wonderful Friday night. Enjoy your beer if you have one. And that's the end of the short A to Z training session about Iceberg Digital and bait. Bottoms up.